Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. If you're watching on replay, thank you. And starting a new project today. So I haven't even placed the first drill yet. So I finished the three kittens that I was doing as a comparison on YouTube. I had a 20 by 20 in round drills, a 20 by 20 in square drills of the same picture from the same company, and I was showing the differences between them. Hi Nancy, good morning or good afternoon for me, 4:45 p.m. here. So I've just finished uploading that video. So I had the two 20 by 20s and a 30 by 30, and I was letting people see the differences, and hopefully people will let me know which one they prefer. So now straight on it, I've already kitted up, and this one is called Cartoon Cow. Now I'm going to show you the picture. This is the cartoon cow. So I think something got lost in translation, or Chinese cows look very different from cows elsewhere in the world. So this is the beginning, or the tail. So I always start in the bottom right hand corner. I've just always have, and I just work across the way. So I will do all these minus symbols, and then the next symbol along is an E, and I'll do all the E's, then a P, I'll do all the P's, and it's just the way I work. So because I'm right-handed, it comes in handy to do this, especially with ones like this where all of this is white, basically. So once the drills are placed, I can actually sit my hand on top of the drills and I don't touch the glue. Yeah, it's an unusual cow. But I got this one from Mike at Smith's Beads. I bought a couple of them, aimed at kids' bedrooms, just something a bit fun, nice and clean, not too complicated. At least I thought that. But I was surprised to see there's actually 30 colours in this. So there will be a decent amount of shading. I was thinking it was just going to be black and white and blue and red and pink, because that's what it looks like. But they've actually put a bit of effort into blending colours, which I think will make it actually look better than the picture, which is very unusual. So what I'm doing now, again, I talk about these things because I've began to realise that people actually do watch the replays of this. Wasn't really expecting people to watch it, but I'm beginning to realise that people do, and there are people of all different levels. So for the people who are new or haven't even done a diamond painting, what I'm doing here is what they call the checkerboard technique. And what I'm doing is I'm skipping every second drill. So what it does is it builds up a checkerboard pattern, and it means you only have to concentrate on putting down the first pass. So all I'm doing is putting the square in the square. How hard can that be? So I just go along and build this up, and then I start at the bottom again and go back up and fill the gaps. Now, filling the gaps, you don't have to think about it. You just basically push the drill in. And if your other drills are slightly skew-if, pushing that drill in will straighten them up. And that's why this technique works really well, because I do see posts from beginners who are saying that they can't get their lines straight. And I think a lot of the reason is because they don't do the checkerboard. They're basically just putting one, then one, then one, then one, then one, then one. And I think it's harder to keep a straight line doing that. So it makes it a bit easier. But it does take practice placing drills. Another thing is I use tweezers, which not many people seem to do. But I've got so used to using them now. And I like that you can actually see everything when you're placing a drill. If you use a pen, it can sort of hinder your view. Whereas tweezers, you can see exactly what you're doing. And it's really easy to manipulate the drills with tweezers, easier than it is with a pen. Especially if you're using the pen that comes with the kit. Hi Irene, thanks for dropping in. If you use the pen that comes with the kit, it has a brass tip, and brass is a very soft metal. And if you're pressing down and trying to turn your drills to get them lined up, it can start to affect the tip. It can start to go out of shape. It can start to split. And if it does that, you find that you have problems picking up the drills. So with tweezers, you don't have that problem. You can push and twist as much as you want. You're not going to damage the tweezers, at least ones like these. The really sharp ones, they're quite heavy. Normally you see them in black, but I got these gold ones. New York, Melanie. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. For everybody else, it's going to be morning probably. It's nearly 5 p.m. for me. But thanks for dropping in. So I was just sort of explaining in case any diamond painting beginners come in and have a look at the replay about the pens. The tips can get damaged, and if they do, you find that you have problems picking up the drills, that you keep dropping them. So if you find you're using a pen and you just can't get it to pick the drills up, check the tip and make sure that it still is round and there aren't any cracks in it. So this is my latest project. I just started it, as you can see. And it is called Cartoon Cow. But it's a bit dubious, to say the least, if I can show you the picture. This is the picture. So it's an unusual cow, I'll say that much. I'm pretty sure it got lost in translation, unless Chinese cows look like this, which I doubt. But it's just a fun one. What do you think, Nancy? Have you got used to them? Because it is, the first time I tried to use tweezers, it was a disaster. South Africa, cool. It's nice to get people outside the USA. Nothing against people in the USA, but I have noticed that the vast majority of diamond painters seem to be in America. Just before 6. Oh, you're an hour in front of me then, Irene. So we've got a storm going through Denmark just now. It started yesterday, and some people have been killed by falling trees and stuff. And the sea level has risen by 1.5 meters. So now they're getting flooding around the coast. The trains were all stopped because of the risk of things flying onto the lines. Yeah, I think you'll find, Nancy, that you will get more and more used to them. I don't even think about it now, picking up drills. It's really weird. I never ever thought I would use tweezers. All I used to use tweezers for before was picking drills up off the glue that I accidentally dropped, and AB drills, so that I didn't scratch the coating. And I'd read that pink wax can be pulled out of the pen by ABs. So I always use tweezers for that, but most kits that I've done with ABs, it's only just a few drills here and there. But the one that I did called Winter Wonderland from Diamond Dots had a lot of ABs in it. And that's where I started using it a lot, or using them a lot. And I just sort of realised one day I was sitting doing it and I thought, I'm using these tweezers and I'm not even thinking about it. So, and that was round drills, it wasn't square. So since then, I've used tweezers all the time. I think it depends what your patience level is. If you're a patient person, you may have more success. The main thing is don't press the tweezers, don't squeeze them too hard, because if you do that, the drills will ping and they shoot across the room. So just be nice and gentle, take your time. And even if you do drop them, which I do, they land on the canvas. They don't land like 10 feet away. They land somewhere here. It's just a matter of just picking it up and then putting it where you want it. So it's no big deal. I just think that it might actually be easier to line the drills up because you can see the whole thing, the whole square. Whereas when you use a pen, just the nib of the pen blocks the view. When I was using a pen, the guideline I was using was the bottom left-hand corner. So I would be putting the drill down and looking at the bottom left-hand corner and getting that corner right. And if that was right, it was fine. So something that I always end up talking about, and it's me normally that starts it, is the weather. What temperatures is everybody having, and what is the weather like? In Copenhagen just now, it's 4.6 degrees, 4.6 degrees Celsius, which is 40.2 Fahrenheit. And it is extremely windy and it has been raining. So Copenhagen isn't so wonderful today. I have had a lot of people commenting on snow where they are, especially in Canada. I don't think snow will be an issue in South Africa somehow. You sometimes get this as well with the tweezers. Because you're constantly touching the glue, the tips of the tweezers start to get sticky. And when you pick up a drill, sometimes an extra one will stick to the tweezers. You have lots of snow. You're at 0, no wind, lots of sun. That sounds quite nice, actually. Lots of sun and snow and no wind. I'm using tweezers for my Diamond Dots project because of your tutorials. Oh, cool, Melanie. How are you finding them? Are you used to them now? Was it a struggle to switch from a pen to tweezers? It's just that I don't really see anybody using them. I know a few people do, but the vast majority of people use pens. I think it's just getting past that initial thing. As I've said before, when I first tried it, I was holding the tweezers way down here and squeezing far too hard. I never realised, but raining. So you've got a lot of rain. Yeah, we've got some rain, but not a lot. It's the wind that's the problem here just now. But yeah, I was holding tweezers way down and squeezing far too hard, and it meant that if anything went wrong, it just pinged off like really fast. But gradually, I learned to hold the tweezers about midway, a lot further back than I was, and just very gently squeeze them, and just get enough to grip the drill. Don't grip the drill and then press. Just gently pick it up, and you can hold it, and then you just place it wherever. The other thing is to line your tray up. I'll put it here. Line your tray up so that the tweezers are in the groove rather than going across the groove. I mean, I was doing that initially actually, and it worked, but it is easier if you turn it so that your tweezers grip either side in the groove, and then just pick it up. And then you can twist your wrist to get it exactly lined up, and then just drop it on. You'll see a lot of times I pick it up, put it down, and I just like touch the top. I don't press it. What I do is I place all the drills in the section, and then I've got a little roller that I bought out of curiosity because I didn't really think it was that important, like a rubber roller. So what I do is I put all the drills down, and then I roll over this a few times just to seat them. Before that I was using a kitchen rolling pin, like a big wooden one, and what I would do is put a tea towel over the top, but I only really did it when I was finished. But because I've got that small roller, what I do is I do a section and then I roll it, and I do a section and I roll it, and then when the whole thing's done I just go over the whole thing, and it seems to work. So what diamond paintings is everybody working on? As I said, this one was just, I was talking to Mike at Smith's Beads and asked him if he had any sort of simple ones, and he said he had some sort of ones that would be good for a kid's bedroom that were quite bold and not too complicated. So I ordered a couple of them. I think he had about 4. I got the cartoon cow, as we'll call it, otherwise known as a zebra, and a little tiger cub, again a cartoon type thing. I don't know what they called that one. So these are just sort of fun little projects. A lot of the same colour, a lot of this is white. It's good practice if you're new. You don't have to chop and change too much, and you can just concentrate on placing drills. Still working on that, Nancy. What have you been doing? What size is that one? I've been doing these kitten ones, 20 by 20, 2 20 by 20s and 1 30 by 30, which are a lot smaller than I normally work on. It's a bit of a novelty for me to do these small ones. And even although I've been working 12-hour shifts, I still managed to do the 30 by 30 in 5 days. Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for dropping in. Did you manage to fix your gate? Marilyn had a gate malfunction because of the wind. Yeah, that's my favourite size, 60 by 80. I like that size. It's a good project. for me anyway. That's probably my favourite size to work on. I've got a few like that. It's for 3 events. So you're being sneaky and you're getting 3 for the price of 1. That's good planning. As I was saying yesterday, I've only done 1 event in 2 years. Five smaller ones. Cool. Well, I've done 4 since. Well, I finished one. Did that at the end of last year, but I've completed 4 this year. But normally, they're big ones, and it would take me months to get them done. So again, if anybody happens to drop in on the replay, that's new. I've done the checkerboard, so you can actually see it better with black. But so I've missed every second one, and then it gives you this checkerboard pattern. So all I have to do now is go back and fill in the gaps. The only ones that I would sort of concentrate a bit on are the edges. It is important to keep your line straight around the border of your diamond painting. You want it nice and straight. So just making sure that I'm keeping them straight. Some people use straighteners on the end of their pen, a little piece of straight plastic that they flip the pen around and then they push. Some people use a credit card. You get bigger hand held straighteners. I don't use any of that. I just put the square in the square. Simple as that. And that's it. So people work it different ways. Some people like to do all the border of the picture. I've seen people say they do like 3 drills deep all the way around, and then that way it sort of holds everything in. I've never tried it. I prefer to work in small sections at a time, and I just do everything by hand. So now all I'm doing is dropping the drills in the gaps. The straighter you place the first pass, the easier the second pass is. But as I said earlier, even if your drills are a little bit squint, when you put your drill down and push it in, it'll turn the drills around it so they end up straight. So that's why this is a really good technique to get straight lines. Yeah, it's we haven't had it that bad, but I'll send you an email last night, Marlon. There was a tree came down maybe about 2 miles from here. An old thick tree was blown over. I'm guessing it was probably dead, and it landed square on a house and demolished the house with 4 people inside. All of them were taken to hospital, but they all survived, surprisingly. The house is totally, I mean, it just took out the whole centre. Either end of the walls are standing, but everything in between is very, very badly damaged. Someone else was killed when they were driving their car and a tree came down and landed on the car. Now we've got flood warnings. The sea level has risen by 1.5 meters, which is what, about 4.5 feet. And when you live on land that is very flat, that can be a big problem. So we saw quite a few people they've got nice houses beside the sea, and their back garden faces onto the sea. A lot of them have put up boards and sandbags, and they've got water pumps ready and all that stuff. So a worrying time for them. I think it's beginning to die down, the wind, but it's been bad all night last night and pretty much all day today. They closed the city centre of Copenhagen last night because of the danger of roof tiles coming off, or just bits and pieces of old buildings maybe coming off because of the strength of the wind. All the trains have been stopped because of the fear of things landing on the railway lines. Yeah, flooding, yeah, that's bad. Once you get all that like muddy water getting in and just totally ruins everything, then you've got to try and dry out the building again. So yeah, it's a lot of worried people, I think. Still not as bad as hurricanes. We don't get hurricanes. I mean, I've seen some horrendous stuff in the news. Tornadoes. What one's the worst? I can't remember. Hurricanes and tornadoes are the same thing to me. Is it tornadoes that are the worst? I mean, they just totally flatten everything. And it's not like just one house. I don't even know what the wind speeds have been. I haven't been following it that much. But you can hopefully see that these rows are nice and straight. That's what you want. I know that I'm talking to diamond painters probably, but as I said, I'm always thinking about beginners, people who are new, and there might just be something I say that suddenly switches on a light bulb for them and makes their day a bit easier. So I do keep referring back to basics. So is anybody actually working on a diamond painting at the moment? Are we working together? Plenty of hurricanes. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be worried, definitely worried about that. So when you live in an area that is known for hurricanes, do you have like a strengthened basement or something where you go, like if there is a hurricane? Do they actually build things with that in mind? Don't believe it. I forgot to plug in the power supply again. I did this yesterday. Give me a second. I did that yesterday, but I never remembered until I got the message saying that the battery was low. No basements, but people who have money will install special hurricane-resistant windows, etc. Not cheap. So it's not something that is standard. So what do you do then, Marilyn? Like if you were in the path and you got news that a hurricane was heading your way, what is your strategy? Hide under a table? Run screaming? What is the... I think I've heard standing in a doorway frame is meant to be something. Pray, yeah, that's a good one. That's always an option. And it doesn't cost anything. Do they have like recommendations, like hide under a table or hide in the basement? I suppose would be one if you have a basement. Okay, I have another question in general. I see there are 4 people here. What is the most dangerous native animal that you might come across where you live? That's a myth for tornadoes. Doorway, hide under table, hide under table. So what do you do for hurricanes? We don't have any really dangerous animals in Denmark. We have the adder, which is a venomous snake, but the venom isn't that strong. We also have them in Scotland, where I'm from. Fisher. Okay, I'll try and figure out what that means. I can't. What does fisher mean, Nancy? Raining now. I'm working on a diamond painting, 50 by 40. Cool. What diamond painting is it? Which company? What name is? What's the name? Fisher. What is a fisher? I've never heard that word. Bathtub or in a closet helps against wind of hurricane, but honestly, Okay, so people just basically move. Hi, Shelley, shells, seashells on the seashore. I am working on Cartoon Cow. This is my latest project. I just started when I started this live. And this is the Cartoon Cow. Oh, wrong way. So this is the cow's tail, and this is the cow's back leg. Where's cow from? Cow is from Mike at Smith's Beads. Google a fisher. I have never heard of that. I'm going to Google. So it's got nothing to do with fishing. So what do I search? Fisher animal? Is it an animal? Oh yeah. I've never even never heard of them. So it's like a polecat type thing. So there's for anybody else. I don't know. Maybe everybody else knows what a fisher is, but I'd never heard of it. A fisher. That is a fisher in New Hampshire. It is sometimes misleadingly referred to as a fisher cat, although it is not a cat. Alright. So it's related to, but larger than, the American marten. I've heard of pine martens. So they've been trapped since the 18th century for their fur. Okay, there's a lot to read. Okay, a fisher. There you go. Learn something new every day. Thanks for that. Cross from diamond dots. Is that a partial, Shelley? Steals kids? Seriously? That's a bit scary. Marlon's looking at the same thing. I've heard of, was it those Australian dogs? Dingoes? I've heard stories about dingoes stealing babies. But if you say you were out walking and you saw a fisher, would it not just tend to run away, or would it actually attack? Oh, it's a full drill. Okay. Yeah, I did Winter Wonderland. That's round as well. It's a partial, but I haven't looked at the website for a long time. But I felt that a lot of them were partials, not full. The only thing that I found moving to Denmark is they have mosquitoes, and they don't have mosquitoes in Scotland. And I found out that I am allergic to mosquito bites. So I now avoid shaded areas near water. Oh, nocturnal, okay. But if you did stumble across one, would it tend to just try and get away? Saw a full drill diamond dots at Christmas. Yeah, okay. It's been a long time since I looked. All right, okay. Well, in case I'm ever somewhere where they have fissures, I know to avoid them. I'd be me being me. I'd be like, "Oh, look at that! What's that?" and walking towards it. Probably not the best thing. I mean, if it had been like a bear or a tiger or something like that, obviously I wouldn't. But yeah, I wouldn't expect it to actually attack. So now I know. Don't go near a fissure. Yeah, diamond dots. I mean, they aren't cheap, but they are. I mean, I have to say, I think that Winter Wonderland is probably the sparkliest diamond paint I've ever done, and not just because of the ABs. I remember I was working on it, and Tammy walked past, and she looked at it and she said, "Is that all ABs?" And I said, "No." And she said, "It's really shiny. Just it was just the angle that the light was hitting it coming in the window. Really, really sparkly. I mean, they are very good quality." But I think that the more budget friendly ones, if I put it that way, are getting better. The quality, well, in my experience anyway, the quality seems to be getting better. This one is double-sided adhesive, which I don't really see as much now, but um, it's perfect. There were no air bubbles, creases, anything. See, that's can you see that? We go over here, wrong way. Because the tweezers just drop, but because the tweezers touch the glue, the tips can start to get sticky, and you end up picking up two drills. So what I've been doing, I held that a bit too long, but what I've been doing with that is basically the one that's hanging down, I just move it over a square and touch the glue, and it just sits there. and then I placed the one that I wanted to place, and then placed the one that hitchhiked. Hobby Lobby. We don't have Hobby Lobby. We have nothing here, Shelley. Well, we do have. What's the name of the place? Can't remember. We do have a place that's pretty big on like arts and crafts. See, that's again, it's just stuck. Not actually tweezing. But if that was like the spare one, I would just put it down and then put it in where I want it. Yeah, we've got this art and craft place supplier. They have like pencils and paintbrushes and a lot of stuff, but very, very few diamond paintings. In fact, I think the one that I did see was actually diamond dots. It was a smiley face, and it was like small, just a smiley face, and I think it had sunglasses on, and that was it. And that's me in Copenhagen, the capital city of Denmark. The only diamond painting I could find was a smiley face. I did actually go back into them recently and ask them, and it turns out the girl behind the counter actually diamond paints, and she said that they are expecting to get some in, but they don't know when and they don't know from where. Yeah, I definitely think the budget ones are definitely getting a lot better. That drill's annoying me, I can see it. Yeah, even the ones that have got, it looks like poured glue, and they've got the clear cover. This one came with the old opaque with the blue writing on it. Yeah, I've had some where I thought it was poured glue, but when I look really closely, it looks like it actually is a sheet of glue, but it is very thin. Okay, Shelley, thanks for dropping in. It was nice chatting. Yeah, these ones, it's like really thin double-sided adhesive and not a blemish on it. And that was stuck. So I just push it wherever I want it to go. Did it again. So just set that there and then place this one and then drop that one where I want it. So it saves me having to go back to the tray. When I first did this, I was trying to shake off the extra drill. And then I thought, why am I doing that? Because I want to put it here anyway. You notice that I took that one out because I'm doing a checkerboard and I don't want one filling the gap. I think I'll go back and do this bit. There must be some people sitting there saying, use a multiplacer. We could have this done. I don't use multiplacers. I enjoy single placing. Don't know why, but I just do. Lost one. Read your mail. Thanks. You're welcome. Free medical advice. Oh, I thought you were talking about the the advice I gave you about your wind problem. Yeah, but it wouldn't be these actual tweezers, though. Did you manage to fix your gate? Did you manage to fix your gate? Yeah, Mary's Diamonds. I haven't bought anything from there yet. I'm always interested in trying companies that I've never tried before. Okay, so what, you just ripped it off and threw it away? Oh, as long as it works. The pink raspberry. You've mentioned that before, haven't you, Nancy? Somebody mentioned that to me before. I'm guessing it was you. I'm sure I looked at it, but it was that long ago. I've forgotten. Where are they based again? An Australian one? No. I did look though. Ah, Canadian. I was close. I knew there was an A in it. Yeah, I did look, I'm sure. I need to make notes. Okay, I think that's it. So it's just a matter of filling in the gaps. Can you sit there in diamond paint, Nancy? Oh, you can actually sit in the store in diamond paint. Did I read that right? So I take it they've got like a coffee machine and like a little cafe and stuff. That'd be pretty cool to sit and actually talk to people, diamond paint face to face. Much, much bigger. Marilyn was telling me that the hobby of diamond painting is dying. People are going back to cross stitch. Oh, escapee. Yeah, you could go there and sit and argue with people. Say to them, oh, you're doing rounds. Can't believe you're doing rounds. I always do squares. So much better. Oh, you bought it from that company. Pff, this company's so much better. And you use a pen. I remember when I used to use a pen when I was a beginner. You could all these lines you could use. I don't think it'd be long till you got kicked out though. Don't let Nancy in, she's a troublemaker. See, the only thing about that though, like going somewhere to work on a diamond painting, is I wouldn't really be that keen to actually try and pack up my canvas and take it somewhere and unpack it and then pack it again and bring it back. I like to set the canvas out. Has a Mickey in his pocket. Is that like a Mickey fin? These people come up with new phrases and new animals. Oh, micro glue dot. Marilyn, can't believe you actually told people. Can't use either. What about what was it called? Paddy wax. Have you ever tried that? That was a major failure when I tried it. A small bottle. I'm from Scotland. Nobody has small bottles of alcohol in Scotland. That was like one time, and we went to the pub, and he went to the bar, and he turned and he said to me, "Do you want a pint or a half pint?" And my brain actually stalled when he said that, and then I said, "A half pint." People really drink half pints of beer.